Live from Los Angeles. It's time to get inside the Gamers Dome with your host, Scott Gerhardt. Bringing you all of today's gaming news and information all in one place. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Welcome to the Gamers Dome.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 20 of the Gamers Dome. I am your host, Scott Gerhardt, and Amber is a little under the weather this week, so as a special treat, we have Pat joining us.
Hello, everybody. That was an interesting little bit of music behind me. Sweet.
I know. That's what you call me not hitting the button to stop it.
I have my own theme song. All right. So how's Scott today?
Scott's pretty good, actually. Scott had a very fun Memorial Day weekend. Got a chance to spend a little bit of time in nature yesterday. Went to a local arboretum, the big LA arboretum, and spent some time outdoors there. And I got to attend a Magic tournament on Saturday, which I'm going to get to in segment 3. That was a lot of fun, and I've just had a nice, good Memorial Day weekend, and obviously played some games because, I mean, how do you not play games? How's your Memorial Day been, Pat?
I kind of went the complete opposite and spent the entire weekend indoors. It was the weekend of the big Cherry Capital Con here in Traverse City. And obviously with the podcast, we were exhibiting this year, so had a completely different experience than we've ever had before, and got to spend a lot of time at the con and the whole weekend indoors partying with comic book and gaming people. So it was a whole lot of fun. We had a great time and met some really cool people in the comic book industry, so got to spend some time tabletop gaming in the game room and tried out a couple new games that we'll talk about in what I'm playing later on today. But it's been it's been crazy busy this weekend, and buddy of mine put it the best. We're all dealing with con crud.
Yeah. As a guy who's done more than a few of those in my day, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was a lot of late nights and early mornings.
Oh, I know all about early mornings. I actually have somehow found myself on a shoot for a movie, a little bit role that I'm in, and I got my call time today. It's about 25 miles away, and I have to be there at 5:30 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be my next 3 days. So,
Yuck.
For those who know me well, you know I don't do 5:30 very well at all.
Who does do 5:30 well, though?
Depends if you're over the age of, 63.
Oh, the only people I know that do 5:30 well are morning radio show hosts, and even they don't do it well.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that even they do it well. They just do it.
At least they're getting paid to do it. Oh, so are you though, so maybe.
No, I'm not. I am doing this because acting is a hobby for me, and not necessarily a paid hobby.
Wow, that's kind of the definition of a hobby, is it's not paid.
Well, I like paid hobbies. Okay, well, it's I think it's news and information time. So let's go ahead and jump into that.
Sounds good.
Where do we want to start here? Let's start with Microsoft has actually put out a report that they're vowing to support indie developers on the Xbox One.
Kind of a 180 from the stance they've had for even before the announcement. They were getting away from indie developers, but The Xbox One, I've kind of gotten into this myself, and I just it's depressing to me because everything they made all these announcements, and the thing is what was the point of the announcements? It was to see what the temperature was of the audience. So I think this is just them backtracking after a lot of heat. They've backtracked off of the used game thing a little bit, and they're really in disaster mode over at Microsoft. So we'll see a lot more of these announcements, I think, backing off of their position on a lot of things.
Well, and I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, here's the thing. I would rather a company listen to what the feedback is and then adjust rather than say, well, this is what we said, this is the way we're doing it. If you don't like it, don't buy our system.
Well, yeah, they can't, but I mean, it's more, to me, it's like, oh no, we're not going to sell any systems. We need to fix this. If I really felt like they were truly doing it for the customer, I would be like, okay, but they knew full well with the announcements they made, they weren't selling squat. So, yeah. It's kind of self-serving, even though it's customer service. We're listening to our customers. It's still very self-serving, and it still has that feel to it.
No, I agree with you. I do agree with you in that. But, I mean, it is a business, and, I mean, they want to sell. They want to sell, and they want to figure out what's the best way of doing it. So, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes listening to your fans is a very good way of doing that.
Yeah.
So, here's an interesting thing. There was a little picture I came across on Twitter. That Sony gave the Minecraft developer a golden PS1 as a VIP invitation to E3.
What a great way to make yourself stand out. I mean, that's a big thing. That's not a little bitty tiny invitation. That's something that you're always going to remember. And I saw the picture of this. I saw the same picture you saw, and it's really cool. Like, I'm like, I want that. But
oh yeah.
But I mean, it's like, okay, and not to mention, you're giving it to somebody who doesn't necessarily work with you. I mean, it's not, Minecraft's available on 360, but not the PlayStation Network. So, and it's not necessarily anything other than maybe it just doesn't work. But I mean, that's a great idea for Sony to go to Notch and be like, hey, dude, here's a special invite. You should come check out our stuff. I know it'd make me want to be there right away. I'd be like, yeah, I wasn't going to go, but yeah, now I'm definitely going.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to E3. Those wonderful, wonderful people who apparently don't believe that I'm involved in anything that would have anything to do with E3, which has left me scratching my head, has denied my media credentials. Which, I mean, I get it. I understand we're not the most established show out there. I kind of feel like they just went on and deny. I don't know. I'm still looking for a way to get in. Hopefully, we will find one of them.
Yeah, like I said, I hope to be able to do that next year as well. It's a much larger trip for me, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my backyard, so... And, it's in my backyard, and it's over my birthday. Come on, guys.
Oh, tonight on the birthday.
Hook a brother up.
What a great birthday present. Come on, E3.
Yes, and if somebody's listening to this podcast and you know a way or you have some way of assisting with E3, I would love you forever. Okay, maybe not forever, but definitely for a while.
He wouldn't. He'd love you long time.
Yep. So... You know what? For a large company, Microsoft sure does seem to drop the ball on some very, very basic things. They somehow failed to register the domains xbox1.com and xbox1.net.
Now, the one thing about this is I did read some of the other stories about this, and it's come to light that this guy registered these domains over 2 years ago. So it's not like they kind of, 2 months ago, like, oh, hey, well, these have been gone for a while. It sounds like somebody was keeping tabs on things and even not even necessarily knew, but he just took a bunch of shots at what something could be called, and I think he got lucky. And the problem is Xbox isn't going to win this anyway. Microsoft has a legal machine that's going to get these somehow, even though the guy had no prior knowledge of what was going to happen, because they're going to say, well, Xbox is in the title. We should own everything that says Xbox anything.com. So, and they'll probably win because trade law in the U.S. is pretty ridiculous. Just ask Samsung.
Yeah. Well, I honestly think what's going to happen here is they're going to scare the guy a bit, and then eventually they're just going to be like, you want a few bucks? Because the cost of having to go through lawyers and stuff like this, I mean, it's probably just worth it to them to go to the guy and be like, hey, here's $10,000. Just give us the domains. And they would save that in legal fees and everything else. So, I mean, I think this is one of those where, I mean, if you didn't register it and someone else has got it, yeah, you could probably get it, but you're probably going to pay lawyers tens and tens of thousands of dollars and go through this long, painful process of eventually, Microsoft, guess what? You got one up to buy some guy in the UK. Give him a few bucks, make him go away.
Yeah, absolutely. And they couldn't do too much because what are they going to do when they decide that they're going to name this 6 months ago or whatever? They're going to, they can't go to this guy and be like, hey, we need that name because that's going to be the name of the new console. They wanted to keep this hush hush, so they really, their hands were tied before this. Even though a lot of people are like, well, just registering that name is gonna. But no, you do like PlayStation did, and you registered 40 freaking domains, and like Warner Brothers did for the new Batman game. They registered like 20 different Arkham domains. So there's ways around it.
Yeah, throw out all the red herrings. I mean, that's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
So Disney Infinity has released a trailer video for Toy Box Racing, which includes 3 characters, customizable racetracks, running, horseback, and car racing, and mixed, and more. I mean, this video on YouTube, it looks awesome.
It does. I mean, can they out Mario Kart? Mario Kart? At this point, it sure kind of seems like they might. Just like they might out Infinity or out, Skylanders. This looks like just going to be kind of that mashup and using. They're expanding the NFR toy, field from just an adventure game to doing racing and things like that. They're trying to get outside there and not just make the same thing over and over again. So I think this is kind of cool. Little Big Planet, or not Little Big Planet, Mod Nation Racers meets Skylanders. So to me, seeing what I'm seeing, it looks like a ton of fun, and I love building tracks and stuff. So this one's right up my alley.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the video, just search for it on YouTube for the Disney Infinity Toy Box and take a peek at it. It's awesome. So,
it even looks amazing.
Yeah. So Humble Bundle. So for those of you who don't know what Humble Bundle is, this is one of the cooler things out there where a bunch of indie games kind of get bundled together, and they kind of put it out there as a pay what you want and you can support charities. You can actually, you can pay what you want and then say where you want the money to go. So it's a neat thing. There's certain, like, if you pay over the average amount, you get to unlock certain things, like maybe sometimes it's additional games or additional content within the games. I've bought one of these humble indie bundles before, and they're really cool. But I like the pay what you want model because a lot of people do pay average and above, and they want to get the neat, cool stuff. And so the Humble Indie Bundle 8 is out now with a lot of cool games. I mean, Hotline Miami, Proteus, Little Inferno, Awesome Knots, Capsize, Thomas Was Alone, and Dear Esther are in this one.
Yeah, I will say that I'm kind of a novice in this. I've heard about this, but I've never really looked at it. And just looking through the website, I give him credit. Notch is the number one contributor right now. Notch paid what he wanted, and he paid a considerable amount for these games. So, it good for him, because that's somebody who knows what the value of the indie game market is.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, but you're looking at 2, 4, 6, 7 games, and Hotline Miami and Proteus are only if you pay over the average, but still, right now, as of 10:15 p.m. Eastern time on May 28th, $5.69 is the average. $5.69. That's a latte in the morning.
Yeah, and for just a bunch of new games and to support these developers. I do find it interesting when I look at the breakdown by platform. The average Windows user spent $5.31. The average Mac user spent $6.58, and the average Linux user spent $8.65.
I have a feeling that might be getting skewed by the number one contributor.
Yeah.
Something tells me he's a Linux guy.
Maybe just a little bit. No, but
oh, sorry. Oh. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I like I like this process. I think it's pretty awesome. So, I mean, feel free, guys, get out there and try this out. And I mean, like you said, it's a latte in the morning for $5.69. There's 7 great games, and what you get, even if you just get a couple hours of enjoyment out of it, it's $5.69.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to pay that. You can pay less. But really, I mean, when the average is $5.69, just pay over the average.
Yeah, without question.
So
I spent more than that on one comic book this weekend.
Yeah. So Blizzard has been talking about Titan for a while now. Quite some time, actually. And apparently it has been sent back to the drawing board.
Jeez.
Yeah, we have a source spoke with VentureBeat, said that the project used to have 100 developers. It's been reduced down to about 70. They've not been laid off, but just reassigned. So the remaining 30 are going to basically start over. So, I don't know what to think about this.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to get my head around this story because this game was playable back in 2011, and they said they're going back to the drawing board, but yet they still say they're playing it already and it's a total ball to play. So, this story is kind of all over the place, and I have a feeling this has Activision written all over it. Is what I see. I see Activision saying, "You guys are spending too much money developing this game. We don't want to spend that much. We want to develop this quickly, and in doing so, A, they're going to make it slower. B, they're going to make it crappier, and C, they're going to end up. It's never going to launch if it really has to do with Activision, because it's just you don't go back to the drawing board on a game that you already have playable. That was, I mean, it was expected early next year, or no, late this year. Excuse me. So, I mean, now you're talking 3 more years. Game's never coming out because nobody's going to care.
Yeah, I tend to think the same thing too. Whenever it comes out, it better be good. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft is definitely losing subscribers. They need to do something, and I don't know if waiting till 2016 is necessarily their best bet.
Yeah, not even close, because I don't see World of Warcraft surviving another expansion. I don't even see it surviving to another expansion. I think they kind of jumped the shark with the latest expansion, and they'll. I don't think people are going to take too much from the next one.
I think it will make it to another expansion. I just think that's probably either going to be where it dies, or their subscription numbers get so low that they just don't want to push forward anymore.
Well, I mean, they're bleeding subscribers. Yeah, they're just every quarter they're non-subscribers. So we'll see. I'm sure it's a juggernaut, so it's still going to keep people. But I have a feeling 2 years is the outside of World of Warcraft existing, and I think within a year you may hear the words free to play associated with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say within a year. I'd say maybe within 2. I think they can keep it. I think they're gonna. I don't know. I just want to wait to BlizzCon, because let's see what's going on there, and I think that's gonna be where we figure out where WoW is going. Because if they've got something new, if they've got a new expansion, it's gonna get announced at BlizzCon.
True.
So our last story this week I want to talk about is there is a digital collectible card game called Scrolls, which is actually the first post-Minecraft game from Mojang, and it's going to launch through a paid beta next week. You can get the game for PC or Mac for about $20. It was supposed to have launched by April, but it just got delayed a little bit.
Yeah, and this one I've been kind of looking forward to myself, especially after they had to fight with Bethesda to keep the Scrolls name, because they wanted to fight that it was infringing on the Elder Scrolls franchise. So this one I'll be interested to see how it comes out. It's had a lot of buzz for a long time, and I think I'll definitely be throwing down for the beta on this, because I'm really I've been so stoked for it, and I sound really stoked, but it's something I've looked forward to because it had so much buzz so early.
Yeah, and I mean I'm a CCG guy. I like card games, so I'm probably going to throw down the $20 as well, and give it a whirl. So.
Well, yeah, that definitely. I mean, for $20, it's depending if they do it similar to Minecraft. I mean, you're going to end up with a ton of extra stuff. So,
absolutely. Okay. When we come back from the break, we are going to have an interview with Eric Dahlman of Albino Dragon. They've got a bunch of cool products out right now, and their current Kickstarter is called Name of the Wind. And we're going to talk about that with him when we come back. You are listening to the Gamers Dome on the Drawing Board Radio Network. So my PS3 recently crashed, and I thought it was dead. I didn't want to buy a new one. Then I found out about Fusion Electronics over in Huntington Park. In just over an hour, they had it working perfectly again. I can't thank those guys enough. Don't trash your old system when it breaks. Take it to my friends over at Fusion Electronics. Free estimates, 90-day warranty on all their work, and if they can't fix it, there's no charge. Any modern gaming systems, iPhones, and more. Call them today at 323-972-3376 or email them at fusionrepairs@gmail.com. Again, 323-972-3376 or fusion with the Z repairs@gmail.com. You need it fixed, they've got you covered.
Attention techno fans, you're listening to Electromotion by Studiotronics, just one of the many exciting tracks from their album Straight from the Source. Stimulate your brain and get your body moving to these high energy cuts. Also, check out their newest single available for download, Electro. Don't just sit there, get your fix for Studiotronics, now available on iTunes, Amazon.com, and CDBaby.com. Are you looking for Magic the Gathering singles? Shuffle and Cut Games' friendly staff has provided gamers one of the internet's biggest selections of singles since 2000. And if you have extra cards you don't need anymore, Shuffle and Cut Games has one of the most extensive buy lists around, paying top dollar for your unwanted cards. If you live near our La Habra, California location, come down and play in our weekly Friday night Magic tournaments. For more info, visit shuffleandcut.com. That's shuffleandcut.com. Shuffle and Cut Games, your source for Magic the Gathering.
Well, welcome everyone back to the Gamers Dome.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so at this time our guest is with Albino Dragon. They have a number of fantastic products, such as Dragon Whisperer. They did a Call of Cthulhu bicycle cards, which are really cool. Ace of Spies, Gene Grafter. Their current Kickstarter is called Name of the Wind, which is based on the book by Patrick Rothfuss. Eric Dahlman is our guest at this time. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
It's going. How are you doing?
Wonderful. So let's go ahead and let's start with Name of the Wind. Tell us a little bit more about this Kickstarter. I mean, you guys we're looking for 10,000. You've already got almost 76,000 with 15 days to go. So obviously it's been somewhat popular so far. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, this basically came about as a collaboration. When we did the Call of Cthulhu, that was really our first breakout hit last year. Patrick Rothfuss was one of the charities. We actually had donated some decks and stuff to his World Builders organization. At the same time, they had bought some of our cards to put in their Tinkers packs. And pretty much every campaign since then, they've been the only organization that we've allowed to buy additional decks for. They've bought some of our games, our decks, and that natural progression and kind of interaction has just kind of led us to the point where Patrick's always had this idea of kind of what he wanted to do with his own intellectual property, and he really liked the way that Shane handled his artwork and the quality of the products that we were creating. And so he basically finally came to us and said, hey, you know what, I'd really like to work with you guys on my project. And we spent a couple months, going through lawyers, licensing, and all that kind of stuff until eventually we came out with this project, which has been doing extremely well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a really neat, cool project. I mean, the cards, everything, it looks gorgeous. I mean, amazing.
I'm a fan of the way you guys have set up your Kickstarter. This is really cool to me because it's, you have the pledge levels, but you only have technically 4 pledge levels. But you have all these add-ons where you can get card covers, uncut sheets of cards, big art prints of like the aces or the kings and things like that. The poker chips look really, really sweet to me. And those are all available just by adding on to your pledge, as opposed to having 400 different pledge tiers. So that's really appealing to me, and I kind of like that setup.
Yeah, and part of that stems from my laziness. For every pledge level, I have to send out like a different survey. But we've also kind of learned a lot. I mean, this is our 7th Kickstarter at this point, so we've been trying to refine the process along the way. On the Synthesis, which was the Cyberpunk-based deck that we did on the last one, we tried using a new product called Backer Kit. And so it's basically a third-party management tool that allows us to handle the add-ons and order processing a little bit better. Since that seems to be going pretty well, we figured we try it on this one, and that allowed us to really cut back on the pledge levels and just do everything pretty much through the add-ons. So it's a little bit harder figuring out the math and shipping and all that kind of stuff, but I think at the end it makes it a lot cleaner.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because you guys have raised something like $350,000 over the course of your Kickstarter projects, and that's no small amount of money. What's been the secret to actually getting backers? I mean, like what's been the secret of your success?
I think a lot of it comes down to just luck, but I've actually written some blog posts and stuff that speak to this, but a lot of it is just really hard work and just hitting the pavement. And I mean, Shane and I, we work, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week sometimes, just to get the name out there. And we've been doing that for over a year now. You look at the very first project we had, it was just over, about 250 people. So we've run 7 projects, and we just, we've done our best to put out a really solid product. We don't put anything out the door unless it's, top quality. We're always spending more on components and production and things like that. And Shane's just an amazing artist. His art is, I think, what sells a lot of what we do. But yeah, the secret sauce is pretty much a lot of time, effort, and a little bit of luck.
Now, do you guys have any thoughts? Because as I'm seeing it, most your projects are basically just special, regular playing cards. Has there been any kind of thoughts on expanding into like the collectible trading card game type market or anything like that? Or are you guys just, you've got your niche and you love that spot, or any kind of expansion thoughts?
As far as staying in this market, I mean, we're pretty much doing this as long as it's fun. I don't really see this lasting for very long. I think the market's really been flooded by, people who see our projects, $100,000. Right now we're at 76. Our last one was just 70-something, or 67, I think. Would they see those kinds of numbers and they want to come in and make a quick buck? So that space has kind of been saturated, and you've got a lot of scammers and stuff like that coming in. So I think normally when we put something out, it's solely based off of our reputation at this point. That said, we originally started with games, and we want to try and go back and focus on some of those things a little bit more in the future. As far as TCGs or anything like that, we'll probably stay away from those.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are there any of your other products that you want to talk about and tell us a little bit about some of the ones that are out right now, like things that people can get their hands on right now?
If you missed out on the Cyberpunk deck, which is called Synthesis, we're still taking orders for that through BackerKit. So if you just send me an email with your name, your email address, and which pledge level you want to pledge at, we can add you in there, and we're going to be doing that for the next couple of weeks still.
Excellent. So where can people go to actually find out more about your products? What's your website? albinodragon.com. Perfect.
And we have a link to the Kickstarter on the left-hand side there as well.
Excellent. So, guys, make sure you're checking out albinodragon.com. And I was looking through a lot of the products, and it's a lot of really cool stuff. So, certainly get in there and definitely get into the Name of the Wind Kickstarter while you can. We got 15 days to go, and this number should get a lot higher because it's a really neat, cool project. So, Eric, thank you very much for being on with us. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, you have a good day.
All right, thanks, you too.
Okay. Pat?
Yeah, I'm here. No.
Make sure I didn't hit the wrong button there.
No, I'm going.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool. I like what they're doing here.
Yeah, definitely. Having even just regular playing cards having some uniqueness to them is always kind of fun because, you can always, it just adds a different thing when you're at a convention, for example. You pull out a deck of regular playing cards, like, meh. you pull out something like this. It's like, hey, those look really cool. Let me look through those. Yeah, let's play some cards. So I mean, and the art on these is really, really beautiful. If you haven't looked at this Kickstarter yet, I mean, you've got to see this. It's every. I mean, even the suits of the cards have designs in them, so it's really, really cool and very, it's very medieval and very, it's really. I'm stunned by it. That Patrick, you're not Patrick, but the art is, well, yeah, Eric and Shane. The art is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It's awesome. We'll put up some links to it. albinodragon.com. When we come back, though, we're actually going to hit our Kickstarter of the week. So I guess we kind of had multiples this week, which I like. I love promoting Kickstarters. That you get some really great stuff. We're going to do that. We're going to talk about what we've been playing when we come back. You are listening to the Gamers Dome on the Drawing Board Radio Network. Do you need professional, reliable dog walkers, house sitters, or cageless in-home boarding? Check out my friends over at Leash and Lodge. They use GPS tracking for their walks, so you know they're always showing up when they say they do. With a 5-star Yelp average, they're the only guys you need to know. When you sign up, mention promo code DOME to get $15 off your first invoice. Check them out now at leashandlodge.com. That's leash, A-N-D, lodge.com. Leash and Lodge, because the better way is finally here.
Do you have a bookshelf full of comic books right next to the one full of video games? Are you a Whovian? A Trekkie? Do you aim to misbehave? Are you friends with Leonard and Sheldon? Do you tabletop with Will? If you answered yes to any of these, I have a new podcast for you. Digital Nerdage, the nerd culture podcast, visits everything in the world of nerd. Check it out at www.digitalnerdage.com.
Attention Magic the Gathering players. 10 Packs is a strategy guide aimed at teaching beginner and intermediate players how to approach the Gatecrash booster draft format through the eyes of 4 of the world's greatest players. They include Pro Tour champion Luis Scott Vargas, Pro Tour top 8er Melissa De Tora, Magic Hall of Famer Rafael Levy, and Pro Tour Gatecrash champion Tom Martell. Each pro examines 10 packs of Gatecrash as if they were the first packs opened in a high-level competition. They weigh the merits of each card, giving explanations as to why they pick a particular card over the others. They detail various draft archetypes in the set, and in many cases discuss the general draft strategies underlying their respective decisions. In Part 1, each author examines the same 5 packs, giving the reader their in-depth analysis of each pack. In Part 2, the authors each examine 5 unique packs on their own, giving the reader a grand total of 25 Gatecrash booster packs reviewed. Their professional insights will give you the knowledge you need to elevate your drafting abilities to the next level. 10 Packs is only $7.99 and available now in the Amazon bookstore. Just search the store for 10 Packs and check it out now.
Welcome everyone back to the Gamers Dome. This really is probably my favorite segment of the show. I love discussing new Kickstarters here, and this is a project that came to my attention that I looked at, and a lot of times I'll just discuss a random Kickstarter, and I won't necessarily go into too much detail with it. But when I came across this one, I really loved what I saw, and I wanted to especially reach out to the guy behind it and talk about it a little bit. It's called Team Tower Defense, and with us at this time we have the man behind it, Tim Carter. Hey Tim, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Awesome.
So let's just start with the basic question. What is Team Tower Defense?
Basically, Team Tower Defense has never been done before in the scale that we're doing it in. Now, I could assume that both of you guys have played tower defenses before, right?
I love tower defenses.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. They're just fantastic
They're
games.
great
They're
games.
casual. They're strategic. They're just a fun game. Now, with the standard tower defense, you guys probably had the one where there's a path and you have to build up along the walls, right?
Yep.
yep. That's pretty standard.
Yeah, see, that's the standard tower defense mindset. And the way we're doing it is basically you're going to be setting up your units in front of the others. So it's actually a fighting game. Your towers could actually die, so on and so forth. Now, basically what makes this project so much better is all the customization that you can do. The fact that it's going to be 100% online, multiplayer, MMO style type of gameplay. It's just a huge project.
That's crazy. Well, okay.
It's staggering. The amount that's changing the genre is amazing to me. So that's wow. I can imagine that's a daunting task.
Well, how exactly does this Team Tower Defense? How is it different from the others besides just the MMO aspect?
Like I said, it's in the others. Like I said, you build up on a wall. That kind of gets boring after a while. You only upgrade your towers, and it's just to prevent them from getting to the end to attack, say, your castle. In ours, you will put your units in front of the enemy units, and they will actually fight to the death. The remaining units will defend something called a Guardian. Now, the game is called Team Tower Defense. Emphasis on the team. You will work as a team to defeat, you guessed it, the enemy team, which is also played by other players. The main thing behind it is you have to defend against waves of enemies, just like with the normal tower defense. But you will also have to defend against enemies that the enemy team sends to you. And you'll also be sending enemy units to them. So it's literally who can outlast who. Now, in a tower defense, if you happen to let a unit go through, it's called leaking, okay? So what happens is if you do not kill all yours, all right, so let me give you an example. Scott, you suck at the game. You happen to let all your guys through.
He's seen you play before, hasn't he, Tim?
Yeah, but to say he knows me too well.
But like I said, you let all your guys go through. You just had no defense at all. Patrick, he killed part of his, but didn't kill all of his. Well, me, I'm the creator. I'm awesome. I rock. I kill all mine. Now, my remaining guys will go and defend this Guardian. So my guys are there. Your enemies that you let through are actually going to walk towards the Guardian. So now I'm the second to the last set of defense. My remaining units will then kill the ones that you guys failed to. Now, if mine happen to fall, the Guardian will defend himself. And like I said, on the other side of the team, or the enemy team, they'll be doing the exact same thing. If units get through, they'll try to defend it. And the ultimate goal is to kill the other team's Guardian.
Now, is this going to be... will there be NPCs as well as the player, designed people, or is it going to be just the units that the players throw at you?
Yeah, it's just you're not actually going to physically play a character per se. I mean, you don't get to say attack this guy, attack that guy. It's just like your standard tower defense where you'd place the unit down and you'd let it do its magic. Same exact concept. It's all about placement of your units, if you want to have a certain spacing between them in a certain order, etc., etc., etc. And like I said, it's going to come down to just who can outlast who. It's
Nice.
a very competitive, while casual, but it's highly strategic.
It sounds awesome. It sounds amazing. Obviously, when you get something that's this awesome and this amazing, you have to ask the natural question, what's it going to cost?
It's 100% free.
What?
Yes, free.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. In a sense, I can't really say stealing the idea, we're borrowing the idea from a StarCraft 2 has the arcade, and they have a very popular map on there called Squadron Tower Defense. Same exact type of gameplay, however, that's somewhat limited. And we even went to the developers of Squadron Tower Defense and we said, hey, we love the idea. We want to make your game, but bigger. And we actually got one of the main developers from Squadron Tower Defense to join our team and to help us develop this one. So we kind of borrowed the idea, but when we took their idea, like I said, we are just making it huge. With StarCraft, you can't do the number of things that you'd, in a sense, want to do. For example, matchmaking based off of skill. You just can't do that with the StarCraft 2 map editor and the StarCraft 2, just the way that's all set up. So we wanted to incorporate all that. We wanted it so if you've been playing the game for a while, you're going to be placed against other people that have also been playing the game for a while. And new people are also going to be placed with other new people, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's always a good thing when you've got that that help in the learning curve. Just because there's nothing that kills a game faster than getting rolled by people that have been playing for six months.
Like the first time I played League of Legends.
The first time anyone played League of Legends.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I want to play this really cool game. Face roll. Oh,
yeah, it's uninstalled it right quickly.
Yep.
So I'm sure this is probably one of these things that's just going to be PC only, right?
No, it's going to be for PC, Mac, and Linux.
Whoa! Everyone gets to play.
Everybody gets to play.
Nice.
Except for mobile. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, I'm not into that market.
You know what though? Between PC and Mac and Linux, get on a computer, guys. You've got one of the three.
Yeah, I mean it's PC, although it is the dominating market. Macs are still up there, and Linux is, believe it or not, is actually growing. So we didn't want to limit our player base, and to be quite honest, it's not hard to make it support all of them.
Yeah.
So we just chose to spend that little bit of extra time to make it so everybody could play versus just a specific group can play.
Well, I've been looking over it. You guys have a number of just really cool rewards, and I see no reason why most everyone who is here shouldn't at least get in there on the $10 or $20 level for this. Get in the username and stuff like that. And, I mean, it's awesome. It's really cool. And, obviously, there's a lot of other awards, which some of them have just kind of have me drooling over. Custom avatars and...
You want the statue. I know you. You want a statue of yourself.
I might like the idea of a statue, yes.
I could put you in on, maybe like a little thong or something for you if you like.
Nice!
Flexing your arms a little bit. Put you right in the middle of the map.
That's what he's wearing right now.
Ooh.
yeah. I'll just shoot a selfie of what I've got right now and ship it over.
Awesome.
No one actually wants to see that.
Oh, you don't know me very well.
Ooh.
All right, that's too much. Continue.
Okay. Well, the game is Team Tower Defense, guys. We have 26 days on this. It's just launched. There's only a few backers so far. We need to put some of the Gamers Dome muscle behind this thing. We're looking for 65,000. I feel confident we're going to get it, but guys, you got to get in there and you got to help make this happen because this game is awesome, and we need to make sure that this thing actually happens. So get in there and back it. Tim, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little glimpse into your genius project.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good day.
You as well.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
I like it. I think it's cool.
I do too. This, like it's so well. Besides the fact that it's more than one player in a tower defense game, the towers are basically mobile. because you're going to set them up, space your stuff. I probably point your direction and say, you go forth and destroy. So it's a set it and forget it for a couple minutes, and that's so perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Of course, we have to worry about Scott screwing everything up.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's pretty much the way life is. You're always having to worry about Scott screwing it up.
Yeah.
So one other Kickstarter I do want to just very briefly mention, because I think it's pretty cool, is that Call of Cthulhu. It's the... do I even have to tell you guys that it is the award-winning role-playing game first published in 1981? You all knew that. Maybe not maybe not the 1981 part, but you knew it.
At this point, you better. If not, why are you here?
Yeah, exactly. So they are doing 7th edition, and they're kickstarting it to make sure that it happens. So just search for Call of Cthulhu and check them out. Get in there, be a backer. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure most people who are listening here are probably going to at least get in on something in here and be a part of this.
And I'll throw this out there because it's actually kind of staggering to me. It's day one, and they're at $28,000 already with 350 backers. But don't let that stop you from going, because back it. Give it all the monies.
Well, yes, give it the monies. The more monies, the better. And, I mean, it's just like Kickstarter. Kickstarter is just basically getting it on sale early. I mean, you get these awesome, fantastic things. And I do have to, once again, just because we're on the subject right now, and go back Hex if you haven't already. Just do it. Just go back Hex. They've announced that there's going to be tablet support if we get to 1.5 million. We're getting very close to this.
Your man crush.
Yeah, no, and I actually went down to Irvine on Wednesday, and I got to play Hex. Yeah.
You're evil.
I do have a signed NDA, so there is a limit as to what I can say. I can say that I have seen a few things that are coming on the horizon, and the future of this game looks amazing. No, the guys couldn't have been more accommodating. I mean, everyone associated with the project was just awesome. They came in. I'd say they showed me how to play, but it really was pretty easy as a veteran TCG player to pretty much just sit down and play the game. It was very intuitive. I felt like there was a lot of good strategy involved with it. It played well. Now, mind you, it was a pre-alpha that I played, so there were a few bugs, but that's to be expected at this point. They're working them out. It's like I said, they're not even into alpha yet. So, but
maybe this will violate the NDA, and if it does, don't answer. But have they talked about their release window?
Well, I know no more than what they put on, that they've put on their Kickstarter and stuff like that. So no, I don't have any additional information at it. I did see a couple of things that look like goals as far as when they're trying to get certain things out. And these guys are working hard on this project. I mean, there was a thought pattern that there might have been yet another Hex interview, because I really can't get enough of the Hex interviews. And there was a guy I wanted on, and these guys, they couldn't. I mean, they are working so hard on this project right now that they're like, it's a short week. We just don't have the guy to spare right now because he needs to be available. So maybe next week we'll be able to get someone. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm okay with not having someone to interview if they're just sitting there just cranking away on the project. And let me tell you, I mean, I went in Wednesday at like 7 p.m. I was there till nearly 10 o'clock, past 10 o'clock. And like I was leaving at 10 o'clock, And one of the last people I talked to was Corey, and Corey was like, "It's good talking to you. I've got a meeting I have to go attend right now." It was over 10 p.m. on a Wednesday, and he had to go into a meeting. These guys, it's been a while since I've seen a project of passion quite like Hex, and it's just from the whole team.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice to hear that they're so into it and everything. So
Hey,
that's
hey, Pat,
hey Scott.
what have you been playing?
I had the opportunity to play Smash Up this weekend at the con. I've been looking forward to this game since Free Comic Book Day, International Tabletop Day, when I saw them play it on tabletop, and it was everything I imagined and more. Honestly, it is super easy to pick up and play. We luckily had 4 people, so we used all 8 classes. And it's just you really need to choose the right pairing, because the wrong pairing can just chew you up and spit you out. For those that don't know, Smash Up it's a draft style card game. There's 8 different classes, such as pirates, ninjas, zombies, aliens. I'm not going to name them all because I won't remember them all, but each type has kind of a special type of abilities, be they, zombies recycle cards out of your graveyard. Aliens move other people's cards around. And each of these cards are just designed to do certain things. There's minions that are used to break bases, and the bases are how you score points. And it's a really cool game. You play to like 15, and I think with the 4 people, it took us about 25 minutes and 2 of us had never played the game before, to play the first game, which I won handily. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I have a copy of this game here, and it's been one of those I've been trying to get it out of the box, and I keep running across too many games I need to play. And this was one of the next ones on the horizon for me. It looks like it's a blast, and I really want to pick it up and try it.
You will. You'll love it, because there'll be a lot of times you'll be like, well, what's this card do? And then you'll forget that a card does something, and then somebody else won't, and you'll be like, hey, how could you do? Oh. So what have you been playing this weekend, Scott, or even recently?
Well, so my new game is going back on the Cryptozoic people. They put out the Walking Dead card game,
Ooh.
which is pretty awesome, actually. I really enjoyed it. It's based on another game, which I am blanking on right now. I'm having one of those moments. Hey, Pat, talk for about 15 seconds.
Oh, talk for about 15 seconds. Man, in addition to Smash Up, I did have the opportunity to watch some other games played. So we had an entire gaming room at this convention, and it Settlers of Catan, X-Wing game. What else were they playing? They were playing Castle Panic, Small World. I mean, it was a gaming mecca in this room. They had a great thing. It's designed with a charity called that we have. So there's a lot of different things that were going on in this room, and when you could get in there and have some time to play, there was definitely a lot of games that were to be played. So,
okay. Thank you there, Pat. While I went and got the box for the game, because I just forgot to actually write it down, and I should have known. I should have remembered it was based on Six Nimmt, which is a game by Wolfgang Kramer. It's won a number of awards. It's a great game, and it's a very simple game where there's 104 cards in the deck, numbered 1 to 104, and each one has a point value of 1 to 7. Most of them are 1. They kind of ramp up towards 7, where there's like 1 or 2 7s, and it's random. It could be a 7 point, could be card 62. I mean, it's totally random. You make 4 rows, And each time you have to, each person gets 15 cards, and you have to put a card that is bigger numerically than the one to its left, and you put it to the right. If you go to play a card that is smaller than all of the rows, then you have to put it to the right of the biggest number out there. You're making rows of 5 until you get to the 6th card. When you get to the 6th card in a row, you then collect all 5 previous cards, and that 6th card becomes the first card of a new row. And then when it's all said and done, you add up the number of points that you have, and whoever has the most wins. There's a hero involved as well, which allows you to play your cards first. People select like 1 or 2 cards each round to play, and you play them out in lowest to highest order. So if I flip over a 32 and a 37, you flip over a 15 and a 103, you'll play the 15, then I'll play the 32 and the 37, and then you'll play the 103. So your hero card would allow you play that with another card, and then you get to play first regardless. So, awesome game. Really cool. I like The Walking Dead, and it was neat to play a game based on that, where in this version, basically you're collecting zombies. There is also a survival mode where you're basically trying to not collect any cards, but I haven't had a chance to play that mode yet. And then the last thing was I went to a Magic Grand Prix trial on Saturday because I am trying to get 3 buys for Grand Prix Vegas. And guys, Grand Prix Vegas probably going to be the largest Magic tournament of all time. It's going to be history. It's Modern Masters sealed, which is possibly the coolest format to come out. I'd say either in a long time or ever.
Modern Masters sealed. Obviously, I know what sealed is.
Modern Masters is a new set where they take a lot of the amazing cards that have been printed in the modern format, and they're reprinting them to make them a little bit more accessible, new art, foils. It's awesome. This will be like the only major tournament using Modern Masters sealed. So you're going to want to be there. I want 3 buys, and I came a game away. I did. I went to a tournament up in Chatsworth. I top 8'd, got into the top 8 draft. I beat my quarterfinal opponent. I beat my semifinal opponent. I got game 1 on my finals opponent, and then his deck performed for 2 games and mine didn't. So second place, and I am now stuck trying to go to another one, which I will be doing actually this Saturday in Santa Monica. I'm not exactly sure the name of the store offhand, but if you look for Grand Prix Trials in Santa Monica, California, for this Saturday, I'm sure it won't be a problem to find.
Maybe I'll make it even harder and put a bounty on you.
I welcome those, actually, to be honest with you. I like it when people come gunning for me. I'm easy to find. I'm the one with the Gamers Dome shirt and playmat. So, and I will probably have more videos to put up. I would have had videos from this last one to put up, except I left my camera at home and I was not happy about it.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yep. So we have come to the end of another show. Yay! Woohoo! So, Pat, thank you for filling in on such short notice.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Sean out there, I want to thank you for really helping me out with getting the show put together today. Without you, this would have been a pretty much a catastrophe. I want to thank Laura for helping me playtest The Walking Dead a lot and, frankly, kicking my ass up one side and down the other.
Is there any game you do win at?
I do. I win at a lot of games, but this one was not one of them. I've been on a bit of a losing streak as of late. And everyone else out there, you know who you are, and your contributions are invaluable. Next week's show, though, next week we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a Monday show, not Tuesday, because I believe I've mentioned something about 5:30 a.m. call times and working on a movie I'm actually going to be shooting on next Tuesday, which makes it impossible for me to do this show. So we're going to do it on Monday. So everyone make sure to check in then. So any final thoughts here?
Grass is green.
Is it? Maybe on the other side, or at least it's greener. It depends on how much the dogs peed on it already.
Yeah, they tend to make it brown.
So until next week for the Gamers Dome, I am Scott.
And I am Pat.
And thanks for listening. And until next time, keep playing, everyone.